Good day, everyone. I am Sweetpea Balagosa, and together with Daniel Zen Sacala and Trisha Cabunoc to discuss with you about improvisation, installation, and transcreation.
Improvisation. Improvisation in the performing arts is a very spontaneous performance without specific or scripted preparation. So, ang improvisation daw is spontaneous performance without specific or scripted preparation. So, performance nga wala gi-preparahan. Like, for example, kanang mga parts sa dance nga freestyle. That's one of the example of improvisation. So improvisation is the activity of making or doing something not planned beforehand using whatever can be found. So ang improvisation daw is using whatever can be found. So unsa lang ang naa nga resources sa imuha. Like for example sa art, if straw lang, plastic straws, recyclable materials lang ang naa, so mo gamiton to make an art. Improvisation skills. So, the skills of improvisation can be applied to many different abilities or form of communication and expression across all artistics. So, wala lang siya naglimit sa arts, but pwede na to gamiton ang improvisation skills sa bisan asang aspect like scientific, physical, cognitive, academic, and non-academic disciplines. So wala lang siya naglimit sa art, pwede na to siya gamiton ani nga mga things. So techniques of improvisation are widely used in training for performing arts or entertainment. So gamit gid kay ni siya sa performing arts and other entertainment like theater. For example, ani is the music, theater, dance. So some of the phrase or terms that are used pod also means improvisation sa performing arts are these phrases or these terms. Let's play it by the ear. Take it as it comes. Make it up as we go along. So more siya go with the flow, something like that. Improvisation can make a significant contribution in music. So why in music? So maka-contribute siya in a way na, for example, if me and my band, for example, ako ang lead vocalist. So I sing a solo. Kung mag-sing kog solo, di ba, akong mga kauban will play some songs para ma-enjoy sa audience. For example, ang drummer is did something like para sabay sa akong pagkanta. So in that way, it is also considered as improvisation. Kaya wala man na sa practice itong yang gibuhat. We can also apply improvisation in dancing. So improvisation in dancing, commonly known as improv, is the process of creating movements without pre-planning or any steps or choreography. Free movement. So ang improvisation sa dance is free movement. So usually dancers need to be more into improvisation para mas makita nila kung unsa nga style of movement sa ilahang comfortable ilahang body. And also, most of the time, dapat ang dancer, if gusto siya mag-improve sa iyang way of doing things, iyang buhaton is mag-improvisation. Then, kung mag-improvisation siya, dapat di siya magtanaw sa mirror so that ma-improve niya or iyang may bawan kung asa comfortable mulihok iyang body. Not just in music and dancing, but also in cooking. Improvisational cooking takes the seemingly random ingredients in your pantry or fridge. Through resourcefulness and creativity, pwede ka makabuhat og something nga lami out of those things nga naa sa imong fridge. Dili na kakailangan mo palit pa. Kung unsa lang ang naa, gamiton nimo imong pagka-improvisational para makabuhat og pagkaon perfect para sa pamilya. Improvisation, wala lang naglimit dito sa music, dance, cooking. Pwede po nato siya magamit sa pag-deliver sa speech. So improvisation is the ability to continue on a speech or conversation by thinking of what you will say as you say it and not have it prepared beforehand. So ang improvisation speech yapon is murag yapon siya impromptu speech. Nga wala ka nagsulat, wala ka nag-ready, wala ka nag-prepare para sa topic ng mong istorya. Kalit-kalit lang siya ba, murag impromptu gyud siya nga pagkabuhat. So, it is necessary jud nga improvisation speech imong gamiton if you talk public speeches. So, kung mag-speech ka sa public, kay most of the time, kung makita ka sa public nga naay kodigo, dili sila mukaingon sila nga scripted tanan, scripted yung ginapang istorya, labi na ang mga gadagan pagka mayor. So, dapat dili sa jud ganing script pag pangampanya pa. Kay scripted din ang tanaw sa tao sa imuha. So, pwede sa dato siya magamit sa real life scenario, solving improvisational challenges. So, real life scenarios such as problem solving, decision making. So, mao ni ang mga things nga dili wala joy script. Kung moabot ang problema, wala joy tay script nga kani ang problema moabot sa tua. Sa decision making, wala tay script nga after na pagbuhat nato sa decision, muna ang mahitabo after. So magamit gid nato ang improvisational skills nato when it comes to decision making and problem solving. So, and involve working with that what you have in the moment. So, after making those decisions, ang ato nilang mabuhat is mo involve or mo work na lang through it kung unsa ang nasa ato sa pagkakaron. Like for example, atong problema is kwarta. Ito na lang buhaton kung watay kwarta pod karon, magngitag kwarta. For example, natay sinina nga wa pa nato nga gamit, ibaligya. Natay cellphone extra, ibaligya. So unsa ang nasa atong resources karon, mo na lang ato gamiton para atong tubag ang problema nga atong atong gakagyan sa pagkamaron. Training in an improvisational art form is thought to simulate creative problem solving. Oh, okay. Wala lang naglimit ana ang improvisational. Magamit sa dato siya pag natay problema. Kay kung atong i-improve ang atong improvisation skills, pwede na to siya magamit sa pag-solve ng mga problem sa life or sa math. So that's the topic that I have for today's video. Bye!
Installation art is used to describe large-scale mixed media constructions often designed for a specific place or for a temporary period of time. It is also mostly associated with a period from the 1960s to the present. Yet there are many precedents, particularly in early 20th century. Installation art emerged during the 1970s, associated with conceptual art and can therefore be tracked based to artists such as Marcel Duchamp 1887 to 1968. So the example picture here is called Cold Dark Matter, an Exploded View by Cornelia Parker in the year 1991 via Tati, London. Installation art has also a goal. Behind installation art is to evoke emotion and conversation and to bring light to issues that are important to the artist. From the word installation, install itself means putting something inside of something else. Installation art is a 3D or a three-dimensional. Next one is the types of installation. Installation art ranges from the very simple to the very complex. It can be gallery-based, computer-based, electronic-based, and web-based. Also, almost any type of material or media can be utilized, including natural or man-made objects, painting and sculpture, as well as recent media such as film, animation, various forms of photography, live performance art including happenings, sound, and audio. But the possibilities are limitless and depend entirely upon the artist's concept and aims. We have here a saying from an artist, Ilya Kabakov said, "The main actor in total installation, the main center towards which everything is addressed, for which everything is intended, is the viewer. Well, indeed, we the viewers are the main actor of what the artists portray. We judge it by our own interpretation, and we understand what they wanted to address. Because in every art form, there are always a beautiful meaning in it. So we have here the four major characteristics of installation art. First is the sensory experience. Next is the conceptual use of space. Next one is the site specificity, and last one is the temporality. So first one is the sensory experience. Installation allows the spectator to enter, move around, touch and smell the medium. Thus, it engages the several senses of human, making them immerse in the artwork completely. And the next one, the conceptual use of space. Art installations grew out of artists' focus on conceptual art, which is an art based on ideas rather than aesthetic qualities of works. And the third one is the site specificity. An art installation is all about the process of placing something in a space, which implies that it has a direct relationship with that space. This quality makes installation a truly unique form of art. And the last one is the temporality. Installation art is almost always designed for a temporary period and is described by its duration rather than the typical measurements of height, length, and width. We have here a first example of an installation art. An art, the Yayoi Kusama Infinity Mirrored Room, the souls of millions of light years away in the year 2013. So we have different interpretation about this picture, but this art is actually an expression of her life and particularly of her obsessive compulsive neurosis. So we have here the second installation art example, a rain room by Random International in the year 2013. I know all of us, we have a different interpretation when we're looking into the picture, but this picture is the installation offers visitors an opportunity to experience what is seemingly impossible, the ability to control rain. So we have the last example, we have the Weather Project by Olafur Eliasson in the year 2003 via Studio Olafur Eliasson Burley. So this installation art is the relationship between humans and the natural world, understanding of the elements of weather. The conclusion of the installation art is installations invite the viewer to become a part of the scene by creating an interpretation of what the artist addressed. If you're a question, something on our mind that what makes installation art different from sculpture or other traditional art forms is that installation is a complete unified experience rather than a display of separate individual works. The focus on how the viewer experiences the work and the desire to provide an intense experience for them is the dominant theme in installation art. And also, every artwork, there is a dominant idea that is hidden behind.
Transcreation. What is transcreation? Transcreation is a fusion of the word translation and creation. Transcreation is also creative translation. However, it remains faithful to the original text, adapting words, adding idioms, and adjusting figures of speech if is necessary to the transcreation process. Transcreation describes what artists usually do when they borrow expressions. They take from the original sources and recreate these for another purpose in another form. Transcreation, an example of creative translation. Here is the Red Bull and Coca-Cola. If you want to see a great example of transcreation services, look no further than the Red Bull and Coca-Cola's creative translation efforts. These two drinks giants don't just transcreate their campaigns, they're transcreated their entire brands to become more relevant to audience around the world. Transcreation and versus translation. You can define transcreation as an intersection between language, culture, and emotions. So where is transcreation useful? Transcreation is also needed in marketing, and it is also needed in these followings, like websites, product catalogs, newsletters, press releases, corporate communication, and social media. And that's it. I hope you learned something from my topic.